Okay. Well, there's Rocky, fast asleep in his box there. There he is. He's pretty cute. He's fast asleep. Anyway, I've got these things here. I'm going to put these into my clothes. Oh, there he is. He just woke up. I'm going to put these into my... You got a sleepy looking head, Rocky. Are you a sleepy head? Hey, are you a little sleepy head? Oh my goodness, eh? Hello, beautiful. Hello, my precious pet. Oh, all right. I got to stuff these things into my pockets here. Hot hands. You know, these things do get really hot. I actually got a burn on my stomach from one of these things, having it in one of these pockets here. So yeah, they do get quite hot. You got to be kind of careful with them. Anyway, hey, Rocky. Pardon me. All right. How are you doing? Hi, beautiful. Poor little guy just woke up. He's still kind of like, what on earth is going on? What is happening? Hey, hi, beautiful boy. My good Rocky. Poor little man. Hey, I combed his fur today, so it's extra shiny and soft. He has beautiful fur, Rocky does, you know. He does. He's always had beautiful fur. You have beautiful fur, Rocky. Yes, you do. You have beautiful, wonderful fur. Yes, you're a handsome boy. Okay. Hey, you. Look at him. Look at him. He's beautiful. He's the cat equivalent of an 80-year-old man. He is. But he's still incredibly handsome. Would you like me to get you... See, that's a clean bowl. I washed that yesterday. Would you like me to get you some food? Yeah, I'll get you some food, okay? I will. Hold on here. Well, I'm feeling a little better day by day, but I'm still hurting. No doubt about that. I'm still sick. I'm just kind of babying myself here. I'm spending a lot of time laying in the bed and keeping the heat on, which, like I say, my God, I can't afford to do that, but I have to. Because if I let the air get too damp and cold, I'll be right back in here. I'll be right back to square one. So, there we go. Yeah, hey, we give you some more of your food, hey? You like that, don't you? Nice food for Rocky. This is a turkey dinner. Frisky's turkey dinner. This is the food that I got with the gift certificates I earned doing surveys on the internet. There you go. Ah, my good boy. He's going to eat his food. It's good, eh? Good stuff. Okay, I'm going to get back into the bed here. My bed, which is all full of snot rags and other assorted disgusting things that shall not be spoken of in polite company. But, yeah, it's horrible. Back on my deathbed here. Actually, it's pretty much just snot rags. But they're everywhere, I'll tell you. Oh. I went through a period where I always carried handkerchiefs around, and I loved that. I found handkerchiefs were really good. I like that a lot better than Kleenex or paper towels or whatever. But it's hard to get handkerchiefs now. Plus, doing laundry in this situation isn't the easiest thing. And so I just don't, I don't use them anymore, but I did use them for quite a few years. And I found that that they worked really well for me. I really like them. But like I say, that's back when I had an apartment and so on, and hot running water on tap and all that, so it was easy to clean them and stuff. But yeah, lifetime ago now. Well, I had hot running water when my landlord hadn't turned it off. Um, he turned off my water, well, our water in the building, our hot water, and also our heat, which was forced water. It was like through the old-fashioned radiators. He turned off both for 2 years. And I was the guy that went to war with him to get them turned back on. Everybody was scared of him. And he was pretty scary dude anyway. But I got my hot water turned back on and heat. I got our hot water and heat turned back on. And I paid a price for that, though, too. But you know how it goes. Whenever you go against power, you will pay a price. So you better know that before you go against power. And you better be prepared to pay it. And I did know, and I was prepared to pay it, and I did pay it. I suffered for having done that, but I don't regret it. The police were protecting him. Your local police were. And of course, well, the people in the building were grateful to me for getting our services turned back on. They wouldn't hesitate to throw me under the bus, to save themselves grief. And so yeah, that's human nature, I guess, though. Anyway, that too was a lifetime ago. Anyway, I got a message from my young sister. I call her my little sister, but she's like 127 years old now, really. So, well, no, she's in her 40s, though. She's born in 1977, so I have to do some math to figure it out. But she's in her 40s. See, she's 9 years younger than me. She was 10 years younger than me. She would be, 46. She's 9 years younger than me, though. So what? That would make her 47. Holy smokes. 47, holy crap. All right, then. So, my 47-year-old little sister, that kind of hit me like a ton of bricks, She sent me a Facebook private message. I nearly said text there, but a Facebook private message. And she was wanting to buy me some boots, which was kind of her. But anyway, I guess she was wanting to do it, and my mother got in on it and decided she wants to pay for the boots instead. So my sister's going to order them, and they're going to be sent to me, and my mother's going to pay for them, because my mother isn't on the internet or anything, so she can't order things online or anything like that. She doesn't know the first thing about cell phones and computers and stuff. So anyway, I guess my sister's going to order them through Amazon and send them to me. They're good boots, from what I understand. And they're going to replace these rotten things here that are just falling apart on me after only a short time of use, really. Anyway, that's very kind of her, and my mom too. I'm appreciative of it. Funny, I'll tell you a story. When my sister was born in 1977, I was 9 years old. And anyway, my dad and I went up to Kingston. She was born at the Kingston General Hospital. And my dad and I went up to Kingston to see her. And my dad had a 1969 Ford LTD at the time. Anyway, we go up there and we're listening to the radio in the car going up. And the story came over the radio about how Elvis Presley had just passed away. And the story came over the radio, I remember, about how Elvis Presley's body had been stolen and was being held for ransom or something. I remember that. Bizarre stuff happened in those days, you know. And we were on this road, which was called the Old Perth Road. And this was a winding, narrow road and straight drops down and rock cuts and everything else. It was a really wild and treacherous kind of a road. Anyway, we're driving along, and we noticed a glint of chrome from down in the trees. Had to go straight downhill to where it was. Anyway, so my dad, he pulled the car over. He said, saw a car down there. Figured we better go check it out, because there might be people hurt or anything. You know, a car might have went off the road, and might be people hurt or anything. So we went down there. And it turns out these were old cars that had been smashed up. There were two of them. And it looked like they'd been in a head-on collision with each other. And the two of them were just sitting there anyway in the trees. It looked like they had just been pushed off the road and down, you know, into the forest, basically. After an accident, quite a few years before that, anyway. These were really old cars. So, turns out it wasn't anything new or recent, and there were no victims, or at least if there were victims, those victims were no longer with the cars. And so we continued on our way. And when we got to the Kingston General Hospital, we're walking through the corridor, and I remember they had somebody who had passed away on a gurney, and they were bringing them. They had a sheet covering them, and they were bringing them to the morgue. And they had a separate elevator for the morgue. Anyway, it was an older elevator that they used for the morgue, and it actually said morgue use only above it. And they were loading them onto the morgue. Anyway, you could see the top of the head. You could tell it was a man's body, because you could see the top of his head and stuff, you know. He wasn't completely covered. He was kind of covered from the forehead down, though. So you could tell it was a man anyway. And funny, I remember we were there to see my sister who had just been born. And I told my dad, I said, well, one comes and one goes, you know. But, yeah, I remember all that, though. And then a few days later, we went back to pick her and my mom up. Now, she had huge blue eyes, and they really stood out. And the nurses in the hospital nicknamed her Miss Blue Eyes. And when we were leaving Kingston in the car, you know, the old Ford car had the AM push-button radio in it that all cars had in those days. And we're listening to the radio. And, of course, she's in my mom's arms in the front seat. I'm sitting in the back there. And we're listening to the radio. And Crystal Gale, the Crystal Gale song, Don't It Make My Brown Eyes Blue, came on. I remember that, too, you know. And that was the first song that played on the radio during that trip home as we were leaving the hospital and leaving Kingston. This Don't It Make My Brown Eyes Blue. Anyway, just some kind of neat memories I have of that era, you know. I have a lot of bad memories from the past, but they weren't all bad, you know. Life is what it is, you know, and you got to make the best of it. And I've learned that. And believe me, I've learned it the hard way, you know. I don't do anything by half measures. When I learn a lesson, I learn a damn lesson. I'll tell you. Anyway, that's where we're at right now. I'm going to shut this down now. Rocky's having more of his wet food there. He's pretty cute. You're a crazy cat, you are. He looks huge when you look at him here, eh? The way I've got the picture. Yeah, he loves his wet food anyway. Yeah. So that's it for now anyway. I think he's having some water now. My hot packs are heating up nicely. They're in my pockets and I'm feeling the warmth from them. I've got the heater on. I'm going to leave the heater on all night again like I did before, with the window open a tiny bit. That seems to be working. It's costing me money, but it's also saving me from the pneumonia, so there is that. Anyway, that's it for now. I'm probably saving my life, so, what's my life worth, really? I may go into debt, but if I save my life by going into debt, then I can't really complain. All right, that's it for now. We'll see you later.